is Trevor Yocum. I'm a student at Fort Hayes, and I'm currently in the process of registering with St. Joseph's Church, Rectory, and Schoolhouse all together as a historic site property. So, a little bit about me. I graduated with a bachelor's in history from Fort Hayes in 2024, and I'm currently in the middle of getting my master's in public history. I'm from a small town called St. Mary's, Kansas, and Eastern Kansas is in between Manhattan and Peak on the stretch of highway. And it's not, I think it's a little bit smaller than Russell. And then my interests usually concern local, social, and cultural history, kind of all mixed together into one. So another thing, why me and why Liebenthal? First it was given to me just kind of as an interesting project for a graduate student to kind of pursue in order to just do the research on a small town and compile it in a way that can be registered with the government. So on my presentation, a small town with a lot of history and cultural value. There's a big legacy here, and there's a commitment to community and faith that I've noticed in my research, even after really drew me into doing this. And then Vulgar German, I've been interested in Vulgar German history since I moved here, started going to school. And then just personally, genuine interest. I love local history. I love learning about the areas around me, wherever I move to visit smaller communities. And then it's also just kind of serves as a gateway for the FHS history program to do kind of these kind of projects in the future. Right now, I'm kind of serving as kind of the first one, kind of like I don't want to call myself a guinea pig, but so it's an interesting project to kind of pursue for the future of the Fort Hayes history program, and just kind of go over these. So to begin with, what is the state and national register of historic places? The state register of historic places in Kansas was established in 1977. It consists of historically significant locations. It's run by the Kansas State Historical Society. It includes pretty much any kind of property or permanent building in a location. So that if you see there's a couple of areas: barns, banks, courthouses, churches, libraries, houses, parks, ranches, battlefields, hospitals, roads, bridges, rail depots, and archaeological sites. Just to name some. It's a very, very long list. And then the National Register is pretty much the same as on the national level. They're nationally recognized locations, and those are run by the National Park Service. And those will include like larger, more like the Gettysburg battlefields, like the whole thing is run nationally registered. Anyways, so what is going to be registered as a historic building? So there are a lot of requirements to be registered as a historic building. It has to retain its historical appearance. It has to be over 50 years old since it was constructed. And it has to have potential to be documented as historically and or architecturally significant at the local site or national level, in which you pretty much hits the church here pretty much hits every single one of the boxes in terms of anyways. And there's multiple benefits to being recognized and registered. You get eligibility for state and federal financial incentives, consideration and planning for state and federally funded versus projects, and as well as it just gives the opportunity to make history more accessible. And then, and this is kind of this last one, looking at this one, it's kind of what I realized that it does definitely cement a legacy for the community as well as the buildings, and makes them protected. And so they cannot be erased or forgotten. And so the process, it's you have to go through the Kansas State Historical Society and have a very long step-by-step involving getting the location surveyed, appraised for historical significance. It's usually, generally, it's a 12 to 18 month process, which is largely just, the middle of it is largely just writing, filling out the form, and getting revisions and double checks. So we mostly involved historical and architectural research. I do a lot of history on the local area, Dallas County General, Vulgar Germans here in Russia, as well as basically learning how to look up architecturally what that is, and I had no experience when I first did this. So it was very interesting to do that, and I loved a lot of looking at different styles, churches and buildings, houses, and figuring out kind of like where the church, the rectory, and schoolhouse all kind of fit in there. And then this comes out of filing historic registration form. And they're very detailed. You have to be very specific on kind of where buildings are, exactly what's featured on the walls on the outside, and how many windows there are, what's the landscape look like, are there any other smaller buildings and structures on the property, such as like here you have a small grove behind the rectory, as well as a statue in the southwest corner. Those need to be detailed and described. Criteria, properties need to meet one or more usually, and basically it's a set of criteria to be historically significant, religiously significant, basically it's just like it's a set of descriptors. Like it has to be one of those that's regionally significant, religiously significant, significant for one person in relation to one person. So like say you had a property owned by a president, that would be significant because it was owned by a president of the United States, and such. And Liebenthal meets two of those descriptions. And what else involves in the form is an area description, is basically a physical description of the property and its buildings, as well as a description of the surrounding area and relevance, kind of like where the property is located, in relevance to like highways and the street that runs across locally right next to it. And then it also involves a statement of significance, which is basically a historical context and description of basically why it's important, how it's important, who is important to, and how is this relevant. And then, like I said earlier, it's a very long process with multiple submissions and revisions in working with the Kansas State Historic Society and their historic site committee. How does St. Joseph's Church qualify? So in terms of criteria, St. Joseph's Church qualifies architecturally for post-war construction as well as cultural exploration for being considered part of this first Volga German settlement in the region, as well as kind of serving as a landmark achievement commitment to settle by the Volga Germans. And so, history of that, I'm not going to delve too much into the history of the Volga Germans because we kind of already discussed that a little bit. But basically, I had some important dates here, and mostly involves the first construction date of each of the buildings. So the church was not the original church in Liebenthal at first. There was another church built in 1877 that was eventually replaced by the current building in 1905. And then there was the rectory and the schoolhouse were built in 1910 and 1817. And then there were two fires in Liebenthal since then that kind of affected these buildings. There was a fire in 1917, and 1917 was burned down with the church and the rectory, causing them to be rebuilt in 1918 and 1821. And then there's a second fire in 1959, which burned most of both of the buildings down, but then the community decided to reconstruct upon the frame, the stone frame, which if you look outside, you notice burn marks and the scorched stone. And then I have the other sleeping dates, 1968, I believe, when the school closed down. Those are just kind of some of the main reasons that this is so historically significant to the local community. And then architecturally, all the buildings made up most of architecture, pretty unique for our region. And they're kind of, it's architectural style, the St. Joseph's Church style in Gothic revival, late Gothic revival. And then the rectory and the schoolhouse are styled after Prairie. Something kind of cool is I had a hard time finding architecture for the church itself. And it's credited to Victor Clouseau as the Lutheran area, who is known for constructing multiple Catholic, late Gothic revival style churches in the West. And then, kind of just as another reasoning that St. Joseph's Church qualifies architecturally. Its architectural style and makeup qualified to be part of post-Roman limestone properties in Kansas from 1870 to 1948, which is basically a larger national registered site composed with other buildings made out of post-Roman in the same similar styles. And then just kind of to finish things off, I found some fun articles in my research, I thought were kind of fun and kind of cool. So the first one on the left was from my first weekly Republican, July 28, 1905. 62 kegs of